For the outline for this Class A medical device update, we have this is the following scope for this presentation. We will be looking at showing up, maybe just do a quick refresh what are the updates for Class A medical devices, and then we'll do a quick run through on the registration process for Class A medical devices with reference to the determination of the risk class, the product registration procedure, and when non-sterile Class A medical devices are concerned, we'll be looking at the dealer's license renewal, how do you renew your license, and how to submit the Class A exemption list. And lastly, we'll be looking at other regulatory updates which will concern your treatment clearance, and as well as your dealers and dealers' duty and obligations. So as we all know, only Class A sterile devices require product registration with HSA. Okay? And once again, non-sterile devices that are Class A are exempted from product registration. Okay? So all the exempted Class A medical devices that are manufactured in Singapore or imported into Singapore will have to be declared. How do you declare it? In your dealer's license. So by who? By the importers and manufacturers. The wholesalers, if you're just doing wholesaling activities for Class A devices, you don't have to declare it. When do you have to do it? Every half yearly. And why do you need to have this exemption list for record keeping? Is to facilitate the post-market surveillance and monitoring. Okay, now we move on to the registration of Class A medical devices. We'll do a very quick run through, so just to make sure that we're on the same page. So these are the thought processes that we all have when we want to register a product with HSA. Okay, with reference to Class A medical devices, these are probably some of the 4 main questions you will ask yourself. Okay. So the first thing is, if you have a product and you want to supply it in Singapore, you need to ask yourself, is this a medical device? How would I know this is a medical device? So you refer to our first schedule of the Health Products Act. That section will tell you the definition of a medical device, what is intended to do. So if your product falls within this definition, then yes, it is a medical device and will be subjected to our controls. Okay, the next question you ask, okay, I have a medical device. How will I know the risk class? Is it going to be Class A? How would I know? We have 2 guidance documents we have on our website. Okay, for general medical devices, it's GN30, and you're dealing with in vitro diagnostic devices. The reference, the guidance documents you'll be looking at will be GN40. Okay, so what I'm going to do? So the tips to determine the risk class, always refer to our guidance documents. Okay? If the device falls under multiple rules, the higher risk class will always apply. Okay? And you should always verify the risk class with your product owner, the product owner of the medical device, and advise you to let them have a copy of our guidance documents so that we can clarify this with you. Okay, so let's say, for example, this is a general medical device. Okay, you have checked. So the next document we get is GN13. So what does GN13 contain? Okay, we have about 16 rules. You can broadly classify them into 4 main sections, which is the non-invasive devices, invasive devices, active devices, and other additional rules. Okay, refer to our guidance document, the last page, because we have the decision tree, so it gives you a very quick reference to whether your devices fall under which of this category, and then you narrow down to determine the risk class. One thing to note, these are the rules that if your product falls under such rules, they will not be Class A. Okay, these are the rule 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, part 2, 11, 13, 15, and 16. They will definitely be more than Class A, at least a Class B. Where IVD is concerned, the guidance document we refer to is guidance 40, and for IVD it's slightly different. Okay, what are the things we look at when we determine the risk classification of IVD devices? Okay, we look at the importance of the information to the diagnosis. Okay? We also look at the impact of the result to the individual and or to the public health. We also look at the intended purpose and what is it indicated for. And we also look at the expertise of the intended user. And where this GN14 is concerned, if you're dealing with Class A, you don't have to look at any other rules except for Rule 5 because only Rule 5 will apply to Class A. And what is Rule 5? To bring it up here is anything that is intended to be an instrument for IVD procedures, reagents or articles that possesses specific characteristics suitable for IVD procedures related to a specific examination. Okay, for example, specimen receptacles to collect patient blood, clinical chemistry analyzers, and prepared culture media. Okay, for Class A IVDs, it's very basic. It should not have any diagnostic function. It's just very basic. The examples that we have here, for example, the prepared culture media, it is just to facilitate growth of all kinds of microorganisms that you're growing in the lab. Okay, it doesn't help to differentiate. It doesn't encourage specific growth of a particular strain, and then it doesn't tell you that, okay, if I use this on my samples, if something happens, if I see a green speck, that will mean a certain strain of the bacteria is present, and that means that the patient is having such an infection. So that Class A IVDs will not have such capability. If it does, it will be at least a Class B. We also bring you some of the, we thought it's good to explain a little bit on IVD analyzers. Okay. For IVD analyzers, when it's intended by the product owner to be used as a standalone analyzer, meaning in the intended purpose, it's not to be used specifically by any IVD reagents kit. So this will come along as a standalone Class A device. Okay. When it's intended by the product owner to be used by a specific type of IVD reagent kit, is specified in the intended use. Okay. For example, ABC analyzers to be used with ABC test kits to measure XYZ analytes. So what is going to happen to this kind of devices is to be registered with the respective kits as a system. Okay. In this, we actually bring out to you our rationale behind it. Okay, why would we want you to group the analyzers with the respective kits? Okay, because the analyzer itself is we cannot use it doesn't work. It doesn't do anything without all the reagent kits. And then if you group them together as a system, we know that there will always be any software updates, any module upgrades, or even changes to the analyte concentrations, and they have to be used collectively as a system. So any changes to that system, you will have to validate it to ensure the compatibility and conformity to the safety, efficacy, and performance of the entire registered system. So because of this is a safety aspect we're looking at. That's why we would want the companies to put the analyzers together with the test kit.